Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 27th of July, 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1. Well, we're starting with economic news this afternoon. Inflation jumped by 6.1% in the 12 months to the end of June this year, with fuel prices and home building costs leading the way. It was the biggest annual rise since the introduction of the GST back in 2000 and follows a 5.1% jump the month before. The underlying rate of inflation, which takes out volatile items and is preferred by the Reserve Bank, was 4.9%, up sharply from 3.7% in May. Given the jump in prices when the GST was introduced isn't in this measure, the June figure is the highest underlying reading since 1991. Incredible. Story number 2 is the market's reaction to the inflation figures. Investors took the news pretty much in their stride. By the end of the day, the S&P/ASX 200 finished up 0.2% to 6,823 points. That's the highest close in about 6 weeks. Some sectors certainly benefited, notably the banks. Commonwealth Bank ended up 2.3%. Westpac closed 1.6% higher, and National Australia Bank was up 1.4%. CSL and Transurban both ended 2% higher. The big miners fell back, with BHP, Fortescue Metals and Rio Tinto all down sharply. James Hardie Industries fell 3%. Zipco jumped another 19%. West Australian gold producer Silver Lake Resources met its previously withdrawn full-year gold sales guidance through resilient management of ongoing and evolving challenges related to COVID-19, supply and labour shortages. Its share price rose 6.4%, but some of the miners were the worst performers. Iron ore miner Champion Iron closed down 4.3%, and mineral sands group Iluka Resources was off 4%. Away from equities, the bond market tends to be a pretty good predictor of the future, and it pared back expectations of interest rate rises. The Aussie dollar also fell back and is trading around 69.4 US cents. Story number 3, Westpac has decided to reduce its exposure to oil, gas and power companies. CEO Peter King said the bank will balance energy security against its stricter lending standards for oil and gas. The bank has pledged to reduce its exposure to fossil fuels by 25%, and it will look at new oil and gas fields on a case-by-case basis. Story number 4, Regional Express's share price rose 2.5% today after receiving pre-assessment clearance from the competition regulator for a fly-in, fly-out business. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission doesn't want to conduct a public review of the $48 million purchase of Cobham's FIFO business. It's called National Jet Express. Good news for Rex. And story number 5, the International Monetary Fund has significantly downgraded its outlook for the global economy for the second time in just 3 months as inflation and rapidly rising interest rates slow activity. The IMF forecasts growth of just 3.2% this year and 2.9% next year. The slowdown largely reflects changes in activity in the United States, China and the Eurozone. Rising food and energy prices also prompted an upward revision to the global inflation outlook, with price growth expected to reach 6.6% in advanced economies, up almost a full percentage point. Local Treasurer Jim Chalmers used the IMF World Economic Update to warn that the international economy was entering a difficult phase. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 27th of July, 2022. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning for the Thursday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.